My name's Melissa Avera, and I love being a realtor. I specialize in real estate in the DFW and surrounding areas, and I also grew up here, so I'm very familiar with the Metroplex. Buying or selling a home can be an extremely stressful task, so I really try to go the extra mile to take that stress out of my clients' hands.
This is Going the Extra Mile. Now, from Frito Nation Productions in the Caddo Office Reimagined Studios, here's Melissa.
Thanks, Chris. I'm fired up to be here in the studio today to talk about something that's been a game changer for me in my life, and I feel like everybody struggles at some point, or sometimes ongoing, and it's really just your daily habits. The last few years, I think a lot of people have developed a lot of bad habits, right? Because we've been forced to stay home, all the stuff. And so today, I want this to be hopefully inspirational to you and help you maybe try to set some new habits for yourself. And the thing is, honestly, guys, that people always want, the results, but a lot of times they don't want to do the work to get there. And I think one of the biggest struggles is if it's losing weight or doing better in your business or whatever it is, people think that they have to make, epic change, like overnight. And that to me is the worst thing you can do because it's probably not going to be sustainable. You have to do the small, little, tiny things daily. And it's like if you make one change in every aspect of your life. Like my business coach, they preach the 5 circles of life. There's family, there's finance, there's personal, there's spiritual, and there's business. And to me, if one of those circles is off, everything's off, and that's a big struggle with people is just finding the balance in life. I mean, isn't that what we all want? That's what I want, So today, again, I'm just going to share some daily habits and commitments to myself that I do that I feel like have been a huge game changer to me. And, and just trust yourself, trust in the habits. And to me, there's really no one day to be ready. Everybody's like, on Monday I'll start or I'll do this. And honestly, I think that's a load of crap. Just be ready now and get after it. That's enough. My first point that I will share with you is schedule your time effectively. So many people, I feel like, wake up or, with their day or their week or their month, and they really just fly by the seat of their pants. They don't have a game plan together. You might have in your mind things like, I want to do this for fun, or I want to see this person, or I want to, get this new client, or whatever it is. But honestly, for me, if it is not in my calendar and it's not written down, then I'm not very serious about it. So at the end of every month, this has helped me immensely. I do a monthly review. So I sit down, I look at the goals that I had set for myself at the beginning of the month, and then I see, did I achieve those? Did I surpass those? Did I fall short? And then what did I learn? What could I do better? And then I plan the next month's goals. And that's to me almost another level of accountability just to myself at its finest. And so I map out my month and then I map out my week. And every night before I go to bed, I review what I need to do for the next day. So I wake up with a plan.
Not yours.
And scheduling your time effectively to me is one of the biggest things to help you avoid burnout. We're all pulled in so many different directions, and
much commission.
I have learned, and it's hard to do this,
but I get help. Sure, I need to.
Guys, you have to learn to say no to things.
But there's a lot of people
absolutely have to, because I get really overwhelmed and stressed out when I overcommit myself. And I do it frequently, because I'm trying to be everything to everybody and take care of everybody. But if you don't take care of yourself first, you're useless to everybody else. So
it's not like every
schedule in
becomes a friend,
the time. And when I talk about that, it's not just work.
Because I interact with
the first thing I do every morning is I have an appointment with myself for my mental well-being and my health. That's
on a
my
very
time. I
routine basis.
exercise,
I'm
I
going to see
meditate, I do
them, or we're gonna
whatever
go have
I want to
coffee,
get my mind right.
whatever.
So then I can
I
go
like to build that
win my day
relationship
and
in
be
turn,
better
the great
to
thing about,
anybody that
and this
I'm
is with
interacting
any
with or
business, I
serving
think. With
that
your
day.
business,
You have to build in
I
time
try to
for
run my
family.
business solely by referral.
You know, whether it's
so that I'm not
anniversaries,
having to do
birthdays,
all
or
the
just quality time at night or
prospecting
whenever that's scheduled in.
all that
Obviously,
crap
you got
that
to
I don't
schedule
wanna
in time
do
for
that
work.
takes time.
I'm big on
And then you're
professional
working with
development.
people you maybe don't wanna
You know,
work
going
with.
to seminars to
you know,
educate
you say,
myself.
"Hey,
and
my
one thing
brother
I changed up for
needs to
myself
sell his
this
house.
year
Could you help him out?" You know,
is
it's
the way
100%.
I
And
recover.
I feel better
the
about it
way
'cause
I kind of renew myself.
someone you know. So I
a lot of
trust
my
that you're
friends
not
and family,
referring me
I
to
think,
some,
probably thought,
you know,
or probably do
weirdo
think
or
that I'm just
psycho.
nuts, because I would go on what I call
I just take it
vacations,
from
and I
there,
would
and
take
it's
one a
just
year,
kind of a
and that
evolving
was just
thing that's
straight up
really a
time
beautiful thing,
to
in my
myself
opinion.
to do whatever I want, whenever I want,
encouraging
and
to
just
you and a
really hit
compliment
my
to you
reset button.
that
Like
you
I
get those
realize
referrals.
I
100%.
need that. Everybody
And
needs that.
again, I don't take
and
that
it's
lightly.
liberating.
People
just
send me a
being
referral,
only responsible for
they
yourself.
can expect like, I'm going to take care.
So I realized
of that
last year
person,
that
and I'm
doing
gonna
that
take
once
care
a
of
year
you. Like,
is not
you'll
enough
be getting
for
probably
me.
a thank you.
So I made
card
a
in the
goal to
mail
do
with
it quarterly.
some kind of little gift,
And
right? Because
that-
I appreciate.
it's been a
that.
game
I know
changer.
people
I mean,
have-
it's
everybody always
my
has
business
choice.
has increased. Every
You know, and the
aspect
fact
of
that
my
people
life
think highly
has
enough
gotten
of
better
me and trust me
this
to that
year
level that they'll refer their
because of
friends or family, their
carving
kids,
out
their
that
coworkers.
precious
Like,
time to just myself.
that means the
so
world to me.
I think a lot of
yeah, I
people
wanna
look
make
at that
sure
and they
people
think,
know that
oh, you
they're
know,
valued
self care,
and
the
appreciated.
time to yourself.
And
That's
I think that's
selfish.
one
Who
thing
has
that
time for that? It's
there's
not
enough
selfish
of in this world.
Like I
mean,
just
was
I always
talking
come back
to
a better
another business
everything. Wife,
owner, small business
mom,
owner that I know,
you know,
and I just
realtor,
thanked her
everything.
for referring me, and she
So
looked at
that's
me
just a non-negotiable
and
thing
straight
for
up
me.
said,
So I always
thank
like
you.
look at your calendar, put in the
And she
big
goes,
nuggets
"Thank you for
first, and then
thanking
let
me."
all the other stuff
I just
get
laughed
filled
and I
in. Like a lot of
smiled.
experts
And I go,
out there
"What?"
say, like put in the
And she
big
said,
stones first,
I
which would
send
be like,
business to a lot
you know,
of
obviously you
people,
don't want to miss
and
your kid's
no one
birthday,
is
or
that I can think
you know, if
of
I have a
has
client
ever
who's coming in
taken
from
the
out of
time
town
to
and is
write
here
a
3
note
days, and their
or
goal is
pick
to
up
find
the
a
phone
house.
and call
They're
and just say,
they're
"Hey,
rocking my
thank you
calendar
so
for 3
much
days, right? They're a priority.
that.
And then just
I
let
can't
all
wait
the
till I
other
can return
life
the favor."
stuff that happens
And
fill
I think
in, like
that's
the little
sad
pebbles
that
or the
people
sand, or
don't
you know, however people
do
say
that.
it.
I mean, to me, people who don't do that don't really value.
And I think another thing that people
relationships.
struggle with is
It is sad. And I think it's getting
just
worse.
confidence in what they're doing.
We take
You know,
each
like
other for granted.
if I showed up
Quite a
to
bit.
an appointment, meeting somebody for
I know
the first
you
time,
just said it.
and I'm just kind
You
of,
want to treat every client.
you know, and I'm not confident in the neighborhood, or I don't know my
want them
stuff,
to
and
know
I'm
how
not
grateful you
presenting
are.
myself
I mean, I
as
want
an
them to
Especially
expert,
have the
or I
best
even know anything
experience
about the
possible.
house, or whatever
Like,
it is.
everybody wants you to. If you
That
ask them
appointment
for
is
a
probably
review,
not going to
like,
go so
leave
well.
me a 5-star
and that
review,
person's probably going to
right?
question my
And,
ability.
I mean, it just
And
blows
that's the
my
last
mind
thing I
how
want. So it's like you have
people.
to.
I think just for me, like,
prepare
communication is so key
to
with
perform.
anything you do, but especially with what
you know,
I do.
and I again,
in
to
real
me,
estate.
that's
People want to know
all
what the
aspects
heck is
of
going
life. Like
on.
normally, you don't
Every
just
step
go
of the
do an
way.
Ironman or
And
something
if
without
you just
training
get them
for
under
it.
contract
you,
and then
you train
don't
your butt off, you
communicate,
prepare.
okay, this
and
is
I
the
do
next step.
all
This is
that
what you should
transfers,
expect.
whether
You
it's
might
health,
have this
fitness,
hurdle.
my
Like,
clients, my business.
I feel like I coach people.
I make
through a
sure I take
transaction.
time, even with
I mean,
these
that's really
recordings.
how
like,
I
I don't
look
want
at
to just
it. I
throw
mean,
stuff
I'm
out
like
there
their real
and it be
estate
garbage.
advisor
I
and
want it
just
to be
helping them.
valuable and
Well,
it
what would you
hopefully
do? What do you
impact or help
recommend?
somebody in
And I hope
some
they
way.
take my
So
advice. Most
putting
of them
your
do.
beliefs and your
Sometimes
preparation
they don't,
and performance
stuff
is
might go
huge,
sideways,
because when
and
you
then
do
they're
that,
like,
to
"Oh,
me,
I wish I
like
would've listened
where
to ya."
you focus
But
all your energy.
For me, the other thing that I just absolutely love
flows.
about my industry
and then
is
you start to see
the sense of
the results
community.
over
Like,
time. You know, everybody
being
wants the overnight
involved
quick
in
fix, but
the community in
let's
general,
be
I
real,
think
none of that is
just is
worthwhile.
so important
None of
for
it's
people.
sustainable
Like,
or works.
I want to
Like,
be a
it's-
part of something.
It's the small things you
bigger
do
than
every
me.
day
I want to
that
contribute.
are going to
I wanna
make an
give
epic
back
change
to
in
my
your
clients.
life.
I want to, you know,
and I
do
think
something
another
better
thing
for society.
that
and it's just like
people struggle
whatever that
with,
is for everybody.
and
looks
I feel like
different.
there's probably a million
But
books
since I
written on
got
this,
into the the
is
industry. I
like you know,
started a
people have a
nonprofit
job, they wake
for
up and they don't want to
police
go to
'cause I
their
saw a
job, or it's
need.
not what
And
they love
amazing
to
that
do.
people- I mean, I
You know,
met
there's
you
aspects I think of
through that.
everybody's job,
Right?
even
And
if
it's
you
just
love
like,
what
look
you
at the
do, that
connection we've
you don't
built.
really
It's
care for a
awesome.
certain
And,
aspect of it.
you know, people,
right? But you
like
find
I've
a
said
way
before, people are
to
better
make
together,
it
and I
enjoyable, or
think
you
when
source
you
it
can
out if you can.
build,
But
it's not all about
I've had a lot of
business
conversations
and
with people
money.
in the last
It's about
few weeks,
people
and
and connections.
always
And
come back
People need to get
to,
back to that.
like
I
their
think a lot of
purpose.
people
Like,
don't understand that
What is my
concept
purpose? And I think
until they do
sometimes
it.
the older people get,
because
they
once
just
you
feel like
do
they're
it,
in Groundhog Day.
once you get involved,
and it's just a
and once you
daily
start helping
grind,
other
the
people,
same crap every day,
you
over and over.
understand
And it's like,
that you're getting as
why
much
am I
out of
doing
it
this? What
as
is
the
my
person you're
purpose?
helping.
And when I really
and
think about
it
that,
also leads
to
sometimes
me, your
to
purpose
a higher level of
is,
accountability for yourself.
you think about like,
100%.
what are you passionate about?
I have definitely leveled up on
What
that
are your
since
abilities?
I became self-employed.
What
You know,
experiences
And
do you
I-
have?
I mean, the other thing I just think
And
of is
what
the
opportunities
joy that
do you have?
people
And
don't
to me,
see
when
or
those
wouldn't
four
think, like,
things
I had a client
connect
last summer who called and she's
or line
like, I
up,
need you to sell my house.
that is
And I
your
thought,
purpose.
You haven't
And
lived in the
people
house
just
that
try to make
long,
things
right, like
way
I don't
harder.
know if this is really
Then
the
they
best
need to be, and they
move,
think it's just like some
because
grand
here's
thing
kind of
they're
where
going to
I
search
know
for
we
their
can
whole
sell
life.
your
And
house.
I mean,
I would
it really
rather you
comes
make
down to
money.
you.
I don't want you to
I mean,
lose it.
What do you enjoy?
Worst case, it's a break.
What do you
even.
like? What are you good
Well,
at? Who do
her
you
house was
know
so
that can help
awesome,
you get there?
and
You know,
the
like all
market
these
got
things.
so hot that she
So it's like
made
sur-
over
you know,
six
surrounding
fig- netted over
yourself
six
with
figures
Wow.
on the sale of her
right
house that she hadn't even owned a
people
year and a half.
to help you get
That's
there. I mean,
insane.
you and I were having
And,
a conversation.
I mean, she literally
um,
called me
a couple
crying.
weeks ago about
and was just so
a gentleman that
grateful
I
and so appreciative.
was,
She's like, Melissa, you have no
blessed enough to get
idea.
to hear
because
speak
it's not
twice
it's not
this
just
year.
like, yeah, I made
And that you know
130,000 on the
personally.
sale of my
Life-changing.
house.
And
She
his
goes,
name's Bob
You just set me
Bodine.
up for
And
retirement.
Yeah.
You just, I
mean,
seriously just
He's just
helped me with
an
my
amazing
financial future.
person, and I know he
that
talks
meant
a lot
so much
about
to
this
me. Like,
stuff. And
dang,
it's like,
man, I just set that girl
like
up for
one of his
retirement.
things, right,
That's
is the power of
awesome.
who.
And
it's like
that's
everybody
the stuff
you
that brings
need
me
to
just
know,
absolute joy.
you already
that people
know.
don't.
But
you
people
know,
are constantly
even people in my
searching
industry.
for,
They don't necessarily.
well, if
see
I
it
want to
that
do
way.
this, I need to get
'Cause they're
into
too
that, or I need to
focused
connect
on the
with
next
those
deal,
people.
the next
Exactly.
deal.
And you're
I mean, I gotta tell you
somebody,
that
you're coming in, and
my
like
first
you don't
home
know
purchase,
anybody, you don't have a leg up.
I fell in
But it's
love
like if you go to
with
the
my
people
mortgage
who
guy.
already like you,
I still
who
know his
trust
last
you,
name.
and who know your what
my
you're trying
phone,
to do.
I had Sam.
I mean,
the
I know
mortgage guy.
myself.
Nice.
If you came to me and said,
Because
"Hey, I'm
he walked
really
me through a
struggling with this, or
process
this is a goal of mine,"
that I
and
didn't
I'm,
want to go through.
do you know anybody
And
in
he-
this industry
when he
that
first
can
met
maybe
with
help
me,
me? I'd go
I
to
think
the
I've
ends
told
of
you
the
this,
earth
but maybe not.
to
It
help
was during all the
somebody
subprime
or
mortgage
get them
lending.
connected if that's
And when he first met with me,
a goal or a dream of
he-
theirs.
he asked
and
me what I
all you
was
have to do is
looking for.
ask. And
I said
people
the
just
easiest,
don't do it. They
most
try to go
convenient,
at it again alone. And I know I've talked
least
about that
scary.
before. but it's
Stress-free
like, don't go at it
and he
alone.
said, "Okay."
We're better together,
And he,
whether it's a coach or
when I was
just
signing the
asking your
paperwork, when he
friend
was-
for
the
who do you
initial
know in this space
stuff,
that might
he
could
said,
help
"No,
me
Mark, you've got
get
to
to this
understand
point."
this loan.
And going
This
back
mortgage is an
to
awful
like,
mortgage for you.
just
But it's
the
not awful
habits.
until
It's
4
like
years.
make
So
appointments
it fits exactly what
with
you wanted.
yourself.
It's easy,
and
right
put it
now,
on your calendar
and
and
it's,
make them
convenient
non-negotiable.
right now.
So,
But if you don't refinance this
whatever that
thing
looks like for you, if you're
within
trying
4
to
years,
get
you're gonna
10
hate
new
me.
clients a month or whatever
So
it is,
promise me.
do
And he
what
walked
you
me through the
don't wanna
whole
do
process. And
first and
he had
get
no
it out of
idea
the
how
way.
much
Whether that's
I
like
appreciated the
doing the
fact
prospecting calls,
that not
or,
only did he take,
going up and
what I asked
meeting
him
with
to do,
people. It's like,
but he told me
you
you're doing
gotta
it
get
wrong.
yourself out of that
but you'll be okay.
zone.
Right.
And
Now,
I,
before your
another
mark,
thing
did
that
he
I
call
feel
you
like
and
has
say,
been a
"Hey"?
big struggle
I
with
called
people,
him.
especially
Yeah.
since COVID.
Yeah,
is
within
just
2 years.
Yeah.
communication.
But my whole goal when I
like
first met him is,
texting
I just
and
wanna get in this
email and all
house.
these things are great.
I don't
It can
want
be
any
such
house.
an
To an extent.
overwhelming
But like
process.
5 years ago,
and for some
or
people, they
probably
just
more,
go
I
in
feel
with the
like people
mindset
get so
like
much spam in their
either they're
email
like really
that
excited, like a
email
first-time buyer,
communication
I
is
get to buy
not
my first house, or I'm a move up buyer, I get to buy my dream
the
house,
best
or,
way to get things.
or it could be the
across all
opposite,
time.
like
so then people want more of
I'm having to
immediate
move for
response.
reasons
They
I
go
don't want to.
texting.
Maybe you're going through a divorce.
And honestly,
maybe
like
you're
I was having a
you lost
conversation
your
with
job
somebody
and you're having to
yesterday, and I'm like, you're
sell your
right.
house and go somewhere else.
People
You know,
will go
it's like
back and
there's
forth on a text
different
feed
things that
for an
motivate
hour
people why they
about
sell or
something
buy,
that
and
could be resolved.
that's
in
when I meet
5
with people
minutes
for the
if you
first time.
just
That's what
pick
that
up
is the phone.
my
It's
goal
like
to get down
people
to.
are scared.
Why?
Why are you
to
wanting
pick
to
up
move?
the phone and just have a
Why are
conversation?
you wanting to sell? Because if they're
And I
really not not that motivated.
I mean, with
They probably
all generations,
really aren't that
but
invested,
especially
and
some
committed
younger
to doing
people.
it.
It's
and it's
like
like I
they
want
don't-
people to
they're
be
forgetting
excited about
how
the process.
to be
Like
social.
I do
I was
everything I
talking to
can
another realtor friend of
make
mine
it as
last
easy
week,
and
and
stress-free as possible.
She has 4 kids.
I mean, sometimes there's
they're all
hoops
like
you have to jump
teenagers,
through
and
with
she's like,
appraisals
Melissa,
or home inspections and things
I feel like this
that.
is really
But
showing up in my kids
again,
now.
if you have
Like,
somebody
they
who knows what
don't
they're
have
doing
the social skills
on
Like,
your side,
they've forgotten
shouldn't
how
be-
to interact.
it
because
shouldn't
now
be
everything
hurdles
is on
constantly.
in that
some
situation,
social media
you
platform
just
that
described,
it
my
makes
my
people
imagination
uncomfortable to look you
just
in the
goes
eye
wild
and
when the woman
go
calls you and
grab a
says,
coffee and have
"I
that
need you to help me sell my
face-to-face
house."
communication. And
To me,
that's
that means
sad to
that
me.
she may have been in
because
distress.
to me, I am
she didn't
better
necessarily really
face to
want to
face.
sell,
I
but she had
enjoy
to.
being around people.
And
so
you
for
created
me,
a situation
that's a habit I
where not
put in
only
place. I make sure
you
to
bail her out
pick
of
up
something,
the phone
But my
and
gosh, now
call
she's set
people,
for
whether they're clients
Right.
or just
for
somebody I
retirement.
haven't talked
So
to in a
it's,
while.
you know,
And just check
180
in.
degrees.
You know, people
And and I think
appreciate
that's
that.
the other
Just
thing I just
genuinely
love
ask
about
how
my
they're
job
doing.
is I get to work with so many
and I mean,
different
I'm not
people
just
at
doing it to
different
help other
phases
people. I'm
of
doing it
life.
for me.
And it's really
Because
cool
it does
to see,
something,
you know, from
for my mental
a single
well-being,
person or
like
newlywed couple
reconnect
buying a
with an old
house
friend,
to,
or
okay, I'm
you know,
having a
reconnect
kid.
with
I need
a
more
client
space.
I haven't talked to in
you
a
know,
few
and it's
months
just
to
like
see how
getting to know
things
them
are
through
going.
all the
So
steps of
you just
her
have to
phases
set
of life to
things
you know,
in place. And
you know,
people
I just
are
became
like,
an
well,
empty
I
nester.
feel guilty
and
about
they're struggling
carving
with
this
it,
time
but
out
they
for
know they don't
myself.
need
Well,
the
get
4,000
over it.
square foot house. So let's get a
I
2-bedroom
carve out
condo.
plenty of time for
right? And
myself,
it's
and
like it's a
honestly,
lot of coaching and talking
if
people
your
off the
phone
ledge.
starts
Like I have some people
exploding,
now
just
who have like a
stay
3,800
the
square
course,
foot house.
right? Like it can
It's
wait.
just the two of them.
I have
So we're
auto
looking to
text set
downsize,
up,
and
like
we'll
a
go look at
boundary
houses.
that I
And
set up for myself.
some of them I see online.
Probably
I'm
a
like,
year
that's
ago,
1,400
and
square
thanks
feet.
to my
That's
coach,
small.
I did this.
And then they get there
I have
and
a
they're
little
like,
girl.
wow, this
And
is great.
when
Or like,
she gets
this is
home,
tiny. And I'm
a lot
like,
of
you're
times in the
downsizing.
evening, my
You got to
business can
remember
be
that.
very
like,
demanding.
going from 38
And
to
'cause that's,
3,500
you
is
know,
not
when people wanna see
downsizing.
homes
So
or
I
have
always have to be the
questions.
voice of reason.
And I caught myself
Which
just working
be
all the time.
fun.
And my
Sometimes
daughter
it can
would come
be
in my
like, oh
office and
boy,
wanna
you know, I'm just
play
gonna have
and
to say
whatever.
it.
And I'm like, oh, give
But,
mommy 5 minutes.
you know, to like
finish.
clients who
Well, then I have total
like,
mom guilt.
the family, like their parents
I
pass
have one
away.
kid. She's only
and
little
they're having
once,
to sell their
and
folks'
she
house,
needs
and
to
it's
be
like
the priority.
It's not something they
At
want
this-
to do.
after a
it's
certain
emotional.
hour.
It's
When
not
she's
easy
home,
for
she
them.
needs my focus,
But the
'cause my
fact
time's
that
limited
I can
with
come
her.
in
and honestly,
and help them
most of my
do something
clients
where they
or
have all these
friends, they're all
emotional
in the same
ties
boat.
and kind of
they have
guide them and hold their
kids,
hand
and
through
they
it.
get it, and they're
And
respectful.
it just
of it.
makes like, wow, thanks for making
It's the
that
people
so
who
easy.
aren't
And
that
it just
to me
getting to
aren't
know
worth
people.
being
Like,
your client.
you know, I went on a listing appointment
Or,
a few months ago for
you know,
some people
they
and
don't
their
value
father
your
had passed
time.
away.
Maybe you shouldn't.
And
they shouldn't
we
be
sat
part
and
of
I sat in the
your
living room
time,
with them for
right?
probably
So it's
3
kind of like
hours. And
assessing that. But
they
so pretty much after
just were
7
sharing
p.m.,
all the
I
stories
do
of
my
the house because
absolute
it's the same
best
house they all grew up in.
to shut it down and
Like,
just
oh
focus
man,
on
I
my
remember
daughter and
breaking
my
that
family.
lamp over there,
And
or doing this, or
that
throwing
doesn't
a
always
ball through that
happen,
window.
but
And
it's
you know, a lot of
something
people
that
might
I
sit there and be like, okay, this
put in
isn't part of
place,
the
and
listing appointment.
I do my
but
absolute best to make it happen.
I think that's cool.
Again, like
because
she's only
people are
little
just
once.
they're
I don't wanna look
opening
back
up
and
to you
be
in a
like,
very
I missed out on
personal
all that
way,
'cause I was too busy
sharing their childhood
working or
memories
looking
and
at
all the
properties when that hour
things
and a
that they
half
remember
should've
from
been
that house.
dedicated
And
for her. So
it's emotional.
You know,
so it
none of
makes
these are
me
like
understand
epic,
them more,
you know,
and
like
what they want,
habits, or
and
they don't
give them a
sound
better
like it, but I'm
experience.
telling
and
you,
I
if-
love that.
whatever
And this
you're
podcast
going
is
through
called
or whatever
Going
struggles
the
you
Extra
have, if
Mile.
you implement like
But the more I
one
talk to you,
tiny change.
the more I
Like
realize
I put a
you don't feel like you're going the
auto-response
extra
text
mile.
on my phone.
I really
So
don't.
Anytime somebody
absolutely
calls me
are.
or reaches out to me
There's no
after
doubt that you
7
are.
p.m.
but it's something
I
that
want them to know
it's
I'm
not work for you.
I'm
It's not
acknowledging them. I don't want people to think I'm
something
just
in
ignoring
addition
them because
the way
I
you
want them
see
to
it.
know
That's
they're
just who
important.
you are.
So they
Yeah.
get an auto
I
message.
just want.
saying if you've received
I
this
just think it
message
goes
after
back
7
to like
p.m.,
what probably
I
all
will
of our
promptly
parents
get
told
back
us
to
when
you
we
the
were
next
kids.
business day.
Treat
And,
people
you know,
as
after
you
my
would want
daughter
to be
goes to
treated,
bed, if it's
and then
something
I try
little,
to level it
I'll
up a
go
little bit
do
more.
it, right?
And
get
just
back
do
with
things
people.
for
But
people that they
again,
don't.
it's
I
like
try to do the
getting that
unexpected
habit in
extras
place, but
to make
also
people feel
setting
special.
The boundary,
You know,
Like,
So how does that make
so many
you,
people just let everybody else dictate their day. And
as a-
then you look up and you're
when
like,
you're a client of someone else's,
I feel like I accomplished nothing.
you have those high
because I was
expectations?
too busy putting
It
out
you
depends
expect
on-
people to live up to your standards?
everybody
Well,
else. Like,
Sometimes,
habit
but I've come
everybody
to
should
realize, thanks to my
instill
husband,
is You know, he always tells me.
He's a great guy, by the way.
Maybe 3 times a day.
He always is
And
laughing
I know
at me,
I'm
just kind
looking
of
at your
shaking
face,
his
Mark,
head
you're
like,
smiling at me, and it's
Lord,
like for
all
some
the stuff you
people,
do. Like
that
I
probably
had, we had
gives
some
epic
friends. They were
anxiety.
clients of mine, but
And
they've become
the
good
same
friends.
thing with your cell
And they came
phone.
over
I
this
mean, come
summer,
on,
brought their
people, we are
girls,
so-
and we just
everybody is so
grilled out and
connected
swam and
addicted
had a good
to,
time. And
like,
we were all
checking
sitting
their
out on the
phone.
patio, and my husband
And
was saying something to him.
my
We were
coach
talking
also
business, and he
says
goes, "I
all
guarantee
those are,
Melissa
like,
knows
weapons of mass
every one of
distraction."
y'all's birthdays. Could tell you
And
right
they
now your
are.
kids'
So what I
birthdays,
have
your
learned or
anniversary,
trained myself to do,
or whatever."
I have in the
And
morning
my
what I
client and
call
friend
my
looked at him,
power
and he
hour.
goes,
Sometimes it's an
"Yeah,
hour,
she
sometimes
does. I
it's
just got a
2
birthday
hours.
card in the mail from her with a
But I
Starbucks
literally-
gift
I have,
card."
like, one thing.
But
that is
it's
a big
finding
thing
that
I need
stuff
to
out
accomplish that
because
day, or
people
project,
don't
or
take the
whatever
time to do
is.
it anymore.
And I carve
And it
out
might be
whatever time
old
is
school,
needed
some of
when
the
I
stuff,
feel like
but
I'm at my
old school
sharpest.
still
And
works.
then
And I think
I turn
now
my
in our
phone either completely
24-hour or
or
24/7
I put it
society
on
where it's
silent,
just
and I put
sending a
it in my
text
desk drawer or
or an
another room
email
so I
is
don't
just the
even
norm,
see it.
that getting something
And then I shut my
handwritten
email off.
or me
And it's
showing up at
amazing
somebody's
when
house
you just
with
get laser focused on the
something
task
they
at hand,
like and it's their
how much you
birthday,
can
like
accomplish
that
in a
means
short period of
something.
time
Yeah.
when you
I don't
have
expect people to
that
do that for
ding,
me,
ding,
but I
ding,
do that
all the
because it
stuff
brings
going
me
off and
joy.
blowing you up
I'm a
and just
giver by
distraction. So
nature. That's just what I like
get
to
one
do,
thing out of
and
this
I like to
episode,
make my people
I
feel
would
valued and appreciated.
Have you always been that way?
Just try it.
Yeah.
I think you will be.
I mean, I remember
mind
as a
blown
kid, like
at
my dad,
how much you
when
can
he would come
accomplish.
home
And then
from work,
honestly,
and
for
if I
me,
knew like, oh, he's
I've
going to mow
noticed
the
this
yard
about
tonight or
myself
something,
just really in the last
I'd get out there and do it.
year
So,
also.
and nobody would
I don't
ask
have
me.
my phone
I would, and
on me.
my mom probably was
I am
thinking, good Lord, I wish you
way
would
more
stop because I had the worst allergies. And I would just
Way
be out
more.
there sneezing and snotting
Because,
and
again,
miserable the whole time. But I'm like,
have like a,
my dad works his butt off, and he needs to come home and just chill, or I want to hang out with them. And this is one thing I can do to take off his plate. And I would just do it. And it's not that I didn't.
seriously forget
I
to
mean,
do
I didn't mind doing it.
So do yourself
You know,
a
just little
favor.
things like that. I just try to if I find a
going to
need
bed, most people
and I
put
have
their
the time to
phone
do it, and I know
right
it's going to
beside
help
their bed.
somebody,
That's
I'm
another thing
happy
I
to do
started
it.
doing. I either turn my
That's
phone
really
off
special.
at
Yeah,
night,
and
That's a great story,
I
by
don't
the way.
like. I'd rather
Put it
just
in my
do it
bathroom.
instead of somebody ask.
and do it that way. Because
Right,
a lot of people
because
I notice
like
that
me,
used to do the same thing.
I
You
am
wake up in the
so
middle of the
terrible
night.
about asking for help.
I
I've
was
always
a
been,
little
and
weirdo. I wanted
as
to
I've gotten
find,
older, I've learned
like,
certain
am I gonna
aspects
be
you
dead
got to
in
ask for
30
help.
minutes or what? So
You
I
know,
always would, like, reach for
things
my
like that, or
phone.
if I know somebody's going through a hard time, or
Time it is. Well, then you're like,
you know,
oh,
it's
I
just
have this
offering, hey, can I
message,
bring
or
you
I have
dinner,
this, and you start-
or can I
light pops on, and
go
then
to the grocery store?
you sleep and
Anything to
everything
just kind of
else, so
ease
it's
the
like,
burden
move it.
on them. If it's something I have the time and
Look at your watch.
means to do.
Set an alarm
I'll do it.
clock beside your bed.
Just great.
Whatever.
Thanks.
It just it really is. And when you see this isn't an infomercial for Melissa, but when you see the way she does things, I can tell you that I've learned a lot, and I thought that I was pretty damn good, actually, but I've learned a lot from Melissa, and I can tell you that I'm not the only one that has learned from you. And as you're listening to these podcasts, try and implement some of this stuff, and you'll quickly learn that it works. And it doesn't work specifically to get business. It works for you
Right.
as an individual.
Yeah, just as a human, it's what makes me kind of tick and keeps me going. I mean, I think since COVID happened, it's thrown a wrench into so many people's lives with the sense of community and being around people and engaging with others. And now it's like I just never let that go. Like, you might have to adapt and do it a different way, but I like to be in person with people. I am a hugger. You know, there's a lot of my clients, they don't even bother trying to shake my hand. They just know, they just come in, you know. And I thought it was funny, like during COVID when I was, you know, working or showing houses, I'd meet up with my clients, like, can I hug you? And I'm like, is that even a question? Please. I need that. That's just what fuels me. But
And I can tell you, once you shift that frame of mind and you choose to look at things like, I get to do this, I'm grateful for this, it can really change your life.
oh, it will change your life, but it will change every aspect of your life. I mean, you go from like, oh, I'm not doing very well in my business to, well, I get to go meet this person today. I get to do this. You know what? That people can sense how you feel.
Yeah.
So if I show up at a listing appointment or with a buyer and I'm dragging my butt and I'm kind of down in the dumps, like the other day, I was showing properties to clients and they were in their car right behind me and I got sideswiped and they saw the whole thing. And I thought, oh God, how embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like my clients they're probably thinking, damn, I'm glad I'm not in the car with her. Right. And we pulled onto the street, get out, show them the house. And I just got out of the car and I just started laughing. I was smiling and cracking up. And they're like looking at me like I'm nuts. And I was like, hey, nobody was hurt. It could have been worse. Like, exactly. It sucks that it happened, but I'm not going to stress about it. It's a car. It can be fixed. And really, there was hardly any damage. And they were just like, wow, you handled that really well. Like some people that would just ruin their whole day.
Yeah.
Right? But it's not worth it. It's not worth little petty crap. Bad crap's going to happen. And it's just all about your response to it. And I think that's something people need to realize is every single day, we have a choice with everything we do, whether to hit the snooze button, whatever. But it's like to choose how you react to things, I think says so much about you.
Yeah. Well, we want to encourage everyone to love what they do and love their life and help others. So people want to get a hold of you. How can they do that?
You can find me on my website is melissamovesdfw.com, or you can reach me on my cell phone at 214-280-4317.
All right. I can't wait for the next episode of Going the Extra Mile.
If you have questions about buying, selling, renting, or investing, don't go at it alone. Reach out to Melissa at 214-280-4317 or melissa@melissamovesdfw.com. You can find out more about the Melissa Avera Realty Group at TVG by visiting melissamovesdfw.com. Thank you for listening to Going the Extra Mile.